Welcome back to Wind Waker. And last time I got most of the Triforce charts, and in this video I'm going to be collecting the last one. And that would be over here on Outset Island, if I can get there. There we go. Right. I guess technically I could have done this at the end of the last video, but decided to do it now. But this video is going to cover a very interesting portion of the game that I like. I'm going to be collecting the last piece of heart in the last Triforce chart, as well as an ability for my sword, which I'm actually going to get right now. But first I wanted to conduct the Song of Passing to make it daytime. And the interesting thing is, you actually could have gotten this ability way earlier in the game. Like, I could have gotten it before I completed the Earth Temple. But I decided that now would be a good time to get it, as it wasn't actually necessary in order to complete anything. But it certainly would have made things like boss fights like Jalhalla. It would have made that a lot easier. I kind of wish I got it before, but just didn't really think about it until now. Oh yeah, and I forgot to equip the sail. There you go. But it's a pretty fun ability. It's fun to use. I like it. It's very powerful and very effective, but I'm not going to spoil what it is. But here we go, Outset Island. Grandma's house shouldn't be all like sad anymore because Errol is rescued. She just isn't on the island yet. She's just hanging out with the pirates or something. Now, over here, this is what the whole Knight Crest side quest was for. You need at least 10 of them. That's not very many. That's a reasonable amount. You could have gotten enough Knight's Crests once you first get the Master Sword. With all the with all the Dark Nuts roaming around the temple there, you could have easily gotten 10 of them. And you can even see there's one back on Orca's shelf there on the wall. So I spoke to him, but what you actually want to do is just show him the Knight's Crests, and then he's going to be so astonished. He drops his spear, and then he's he's going to be like, oh, how many do you have? So I think you need at least 10 of them. I'm not sure, but if you have 10, you should be fine. And if you don't, then it's okay, because there's an opportunity in this part here to collect more. But I just decided to give these to him now, and it would actually be a lot better if you collected this item now rather than the end of this video, because what I'm going to be doing now is going to definitely be very useful if I have this power. Okay, so you have to hold down B, charge up your sword, and then spin. There you go. And this is the Hurricane Spin. It is probably the coolest ability in the game. It's super easy, and it consumes magic power, but the catch is that once you're done, Link's going to be a little dizzy and disoriented, and so he'll be completely vulnerable for a little bit, just because he was spinning for a while, and he'll be a little out of it. And Orca is crying because he's just so happy that I learned this ability. You see that? Yeah. Anyway, that is it for Orca. There's nothing left he has to teach me. He just said that. And now, that brings me over to the next part of this video. And as you can see, I only have 5 Knight's Crests left. For this next part of the video, I'm going to need the hookshot. And you may have noticed, or you may have not, if you've come back here after collecting the power gauntlets, you may have noticed a giant stone head here on Outset Island. Well, it's not just a stone head, because there is an entire place under there called the Savage Labyrinth. And the Savage Labyrinth is a 50-story, basically an enemy gauntlet, where you have to go through 50 basements to fight a bunch of enemies. Now, there's one of these in Twilight Princess. It's called the Cave of Ordeals. Of course, I think that one is a lot more fun than this one. But this video is going to cover the Savage Labyrinth. There are, like I said, there are 50 levels in here, and the enemies don't drop anything. You get one floor every 10 levels, that is recoveries. And there are two things to collect here. Once you get to level 25, then that's where it starts to become, that's whenever you get the actual Triforce chart. And if you don't care about 100% completion, you can actually stop there if you want to. But if you do care about 100% completion, then you better go. And if you're playing on Wind Waker HD, then the prize at the end is going to be different than the original Gamecube version here, which is what I'm playing here. So, this is essentially just an enemy gauntlet, and you will fight every single enemy in the game except for Floor Masters. There is not a single Floor Master in the Savage Labyrinth. And I think the reason for that is because there's nowhere they can take you, really. Because it's not a dungeon with rooms, necessarily. You can't go back to previous levels without going all the way to the surface first. And again, you can't actually leave unless you get to the next 10th basement here. So, essentially, you have to fight all these enemies here, and there are 50 levels of them. Once you get to level 25, that's where the other Triforce chart is. And once you get there, like I said, you technically can stop if you want, if you don't care about 100% completion. But I'm going to be covering the entire thing, and I'm going to be speeding it up, as well as playing some music for you. So, enjoy. Alright, congratulations, you made it 25 levels, and you can technically stop here if you want after this. In this room, all you have to do is just conduct the Wind's Requiem, and then you get your chest containing the Triforce chart. The last one. Now, you technically can stop here if you don't care about getting a prize that will help you 100% the game. But if you're like me and you want to fight some more enemies, then do continue. Although I will say, be careful going down the next level because it's full of redeads. That's all I will say. And I hate redeads. Anyway, if you do want to continue, you can shine your light onto the statue. And if you want to leave, well then you can go through the hole there, and then you can continue to the part that I tell you to skip to. But that is all. You can stop right now if you really want to, but unless you want to be a completionist just like me, then continue through, and I will see you at the end of the Savage Labyrinth, where I will reveal to you what your prize is. Alright, congratulations! You completed the Savage Labyrinth. Let's see what our prize is here. Well, it's the last piece of heart in the game, but only if you're playing on the original Gamecube version like I am. If you're playing Wind Waker HD, your prize instead will be the Hero's Charm, which is an item that allows you to see the health of enemies whenever you wear it. Anyway, that is the end of this part right here. Thank you so much for watching it. I hope it helped out a lot. It was a simple video to cover, but there was a lot to do. So that is the Savage Labyrinth. If you completed it all, congratulations. But join me in the next video where we will be completing the Triforce quest chart.